Continuously over the last few years I've tried to accuse this government of being against rural Ireland and not in favour of rural Ireland, yet the government here being the ones pushing for the delivery of high-speed broadband to every house in the country, and the opposition being against that. And being against how it's been done, and saying they don't understand is a fairly regular comment I hear. I'm struck by the comment that's in my head. You don't want to understand because you want to set a certain narrative here from different sides of the house for political purposes, which is my sense. So Fine Gael plan to deliver high-speed fibre broadband to every home, farm, business and school in rural Ireland. And we want to do that for very good reasons, because we don't believe the digital divide that is in this country we can afford it to continue any longer. There is no cheaper way or quicker way to do this. If we do what the opposition asks to change the approach, it will leave people in rural Ireland behind without high-speed fibre broadband. Fine Gael is not willing to do that, and this government does not want to do that. The legacy of historical underinvestment in broadband by the state since Fianna Fáil government in 1999 sold off Telecom Éireann, we are still paying the price for that. While the cost of the National Broadband Plan is high, there is no question it's high, but the cost and impact on rural Ireland of not doing this is even higher. And I do think we need to put in context the cost of the National Broadband Plan in terms of overall spending of where we are in this country. Between 2002 and 2016, we as a state invested €400 million in the rollout of high-speed fibre broadband. We have invested €36.9 billion in roads between 2002 and 2021. €10.8 billion in our water infrastructure between 2002 and 2021. It's vital now that we act to counteract this historic underinvestment that has happened down through the years, even through the biggest boom this country ever knew in the Celtic Tiger. And with Telecom Éireann, the sale, it left rural Ireland, and it left the decision at the time of that government, left it to the private sector to roll out high-speed fibre broadband. And what did the sector do? The companies, to make a profit, cherry-picked the most populated areas. They went for our towns and our cities, and they left behind the rural dwellers, the 540,000 premises with 1.1 million people living in them. And there's a reason that it is, we obviously have the broadband map. We have the 540,000 houses that are clearly set out by the private sector now that they won't deliver out to them. But there's a very good reason why we need to do this, because I think we need to move on the conversation from broadband, because broadband is not about Netflix. It's not about decent quality of life. People talk about high-speed broadband in relation to the electrification of Ireland, and for very good reason, because there's an awful lot of comparisons. And just as when the electrification of Ireland came, people initially thought it was just to bring light into their house. They could never envisage all the myriads of electricity and the new use of electricity we have every day, the plugs that would be all around our houses driving a myriad of different electronic devices. That could never be envisaged with the electrification of Ireland. People just thought it was simply to put light into their house and into their yard. Similarly with broadband, we can't identify, even now, all of the future uses that we have. But just like electrification of Ireland, the fact that nobody in this country would dream of living in a house without electricity, we are not far off a time when nobody would dream of living in a house without high-speed fibre broadband. And the reliability of that, because very soon, and we see it with online shopping, with remote working, with e-health services, very quickly you are moving to a space where it becomes a necessity and not a luxury. And in that space, if we don't invest, and if we don't ensure every home in rural Ireland has access to high-speed broadband, what will happen is the abandonment of rural Ireland. What many people here in this house would genuinely say to us that they're very concerned about. That's why we have Project Ireland 2040, the biggest investment in the state in rural Ireland, in our regions, and through town and village renewal scheme, urban regeneration, rural regeneration. Broadband is a key part of that. We do not want people moving out of rural one-off areas and small rural communities to live in bigger towns and villages, because that's the only place they can have that quality of life in their home. So what we're talking about is, the motion here to go back to scratch. We'll set this back a mile. We'll drive that digital divide. We'll leave rural Ireland behind. And the opportunities that there are in this Cathaoirleach are around flexible and remote working. They're around smart health with online GP services, nursing services, and medical monitoring that's coming down the line, particularly for our older people who live in social and rural isolation. Cloud-based services and connected devices, smart farming opportunities for our agricultural sector, digital learning, reliable electronic payments and bookings. Online shopping is one that, again, could be seen as a luxury, but in many ways is a necessity for so many people. So, what I'm getting across here is the point that for too long we've had this muddying of the waters where people are trying to, the opposition are trying to say, this is an awful thing to do. This is the right investment for rural Ireland. The biggest mistake here is not driving on. And I can't stress highly enough, the Fine Gael Parliamentary Party at our special meeting in September passed an all-party motion unanimously saying we need to see delivery of National Broadband Plan as soon as possible, and I back that. As chairman of this party, I speak here today for our party to say we want to see it delivered and want to see it delivered as soon as possible. Thank you.
Mr. Steve.